JRTV is back with NASCAR Winston Cup Series action from the Road America racetrack in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. This is the Pepsi 500K for the 18th race of the season. It's sure to be a fun one here in Wisconsin. I'm Joey Cusk, alongside me, Trey Bardo. And Trey, this is only the second time these drivers have raced here at this Road America racetrack. However, many of them were in that race last season. They have some experience with the racetrack. Do you think we'll see some drivers be more aggressive this season because they already know the racetrack and already know how some of the grip is going to be with this racetrack?
Yeah, you would have to think so, but I mean, weather always plays a factor in how tracks drive, and you never know what the track is like until you actually race on it. So I definitely think come near the end of it, these guys will be more aggressive, just because, like you said, they've raced on it before. But I think at the beginning, they're definitely going to feel it out some and go with the flow.
Great point with the weather, because last season it was sunny pretty much all throughout the weekend at Road America, but here this season it's cloudy. It's been cloudy throughout practice, throughout qualifying, and now here in the race as well, so that could play an impact. Maybe a little bit more grip. We'll have to see how that plays an impact in this race, but it played a big impact in qualifying. The top 15 starters, Trey, have not won a race yet this season. The highest starting winner from this season is Zachary DeLello in 16th, then Sebastian Kukulon in 18th, and then Anthony Hernandez in 20th. So Trey, inside the top 20 to start, there are only 3 winners from this season. What does that say about this? How this race is going to play out here later today?
Joey might have a new winner this season.
Yeah, we might, and it could come from pole position. Trey, Jay Reno, looking for Hendrick's first of the season, is on pole here today.
Yeah, I mean, definitely seems like if there's at least one Hendrick guy who's on top, it's either the 24 or this 48. I mean, it just seems like whenever Hendrick's on, it's either one of those two up front, and I mean, it's the polar opposite of his teammate.
Yeah, and it's the unfortunate part is that Keegan Thompson was set to start inside the top 15, had a pretty decent qualifying run, but failed inspection. He went to the back of the grid along with Laura Chung, who was set to start in 4th place here today in that number 9. So 2 drivers that were set to start pretty well here today at Road America. They'll start in the last round, 41st for Chung, 42nd for Thompson. We'll see how they can try and recover in this race, what they can try and do to get their cars up through the field, because pit stops can play a huge impact with some strategy calls. And if we get some yellows during the race, who knows what might happen here in the Pepsi 500K. It's about time to get down trackside for the command to fire these 42 cars up for the 18th race of the Winston Cup Series season.
Drivers, start your engines!
And we have 42 cars firing their engines up for the second ever race here at Road America in the NASCAR Winston Cup Series. And we'll see who can get to victory lane after it's all said and done here at Road America. We'll take a look at our Ford track facts here today at Road America. Cloudy day, as mentioned, overcast all throughout the weekend. 82 degrees, though, so a very warm day for the drivers here at Road America. 4 miles an hour wind in the south direction, and a small chance of rain at 15%, but we should be fine to get all the laps in here at Road America. And it will be a 16-lap race with over 4 miles in each lap. That factors out to 64.768 miles. And the fuel window watch for this, 8 to 10 laps, so they can get to midpoint or a little bit after. We'll see who tries the undercut to maybe catch a yellow flag and try and make it on fuel from there, and who might stay out longer to get that clean air before they have to come down the pit lane. This track is 4.048 miles in length, the longest track on the Winston Cup Series schedule. It has 14 turns in this road course, 9 to the right and 5 to the left. This track was built and opened in 1955 for other racing series throughout the United States and the world, but it held its first ever Winston Cup Series race here in 2001, just last season, where Brett Sierra won the inaugural race. He'll start a little bit further back in the number 25, but he'll try and go for back-to-back wins here at Road America. One driver, Trey, that knows his way around these road courses and is the man starting in 9th place, Zachary Fitzwater Sr., won at Martinsville last season, but he's performed well on these road courses throughout his career in the Winston Cup Series. And it looks like Penske has found their road course program out, because they have Mitchell Collins, his teammate, starting up in 4th place.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely have not talked about either one of these two very much this season at all, and I mean, it's finally good to see that they're starting up front, especially at a place like you said that Fitzwater is so known to be excellent at. So we'll have to see if he can take advantage of his experience here today and find himself up front.
Then a few rows behind him is our winner of the last race out in New Hampshire, Zachary DeLello. He's the highest starting winner in the field. in this 2002 season. He'll start in 16th today, but Trey, there was some controversy on the first lap last race in New Hampshire where it looked like he maybe made some contact with Matthew Burnett, not happy at the time of the contact, at the time after the race, but it seemed like everything cooled down throughout the week and they should be fine to race on. But DeLello is the highest starting in the Roush cars today, but he's all the way back at 16th.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that was a very unique situation that we witnessed there between two teammates. I don't think DeLello really spoke out about what happened from his point of the view, so I think maybe he just decided to brush it off and move on, and we'll have to see if he can, bring that momentum from winning to here today at a road course.
And as we get into the final portion of the racetrack, one more talk, and it's on the man starting way back here in that number 31. It's Conrad Evans. He won the prior road course race of the season at Riverside, but Trey, a poor starting spot here at Road America outside the top 25. What is he going to have to do to try and gain this track position to have a shot to go back-to-back at the road course races?
Well, I think he's going to do what Evans is known best for doing, and bulldozing his way through the field. I mean, pretty much that's what he's got to do. Look at all the cars in front of him here, and you know that the RCR car itself is faster than majority of the ones in front of him. It's just that is the driver fast enough to compete on a road course like this. So we'll have to see if he can make his way through, or if he's going to stall out and kind of finish around where he's starting right now.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting start of the race. We have two Joe Gibbs cars starting further back, two RCR cars starting back here, two DI cars, three of the Roush cars are starting all the way back here, including many of the front runners in the points. This could be a day to shake up the points. It could be a day where we have a new winner in the 2002 season. Jay Randall, the pole sitter, has won in the Winston Cup Series way back in 2000 at Martinsville for Bill Davis Racing, the car that starts right behind him with Nathan Baird behind the wheel. We'll see if Randall can get Hendrick's first win of the 2002 season right here at Road America. Hendrick won here last season with Brett Sierra, but to Randall's insights, BP Royce from Melling Racing look at that team's first ever Winston Cup Series victory. They climb the hill to complete the 4th mile of this pace lap and to take the green flag in the 18th race of the Winston Cup Series season.
Well, Staples wasted no time.
Yeah, Stapleton was on it, ready to go 3 wide for third, down into the first corner, trying to get it on Mitchell Collins and Nathan Baird. Everyone going wide as they try and sort that out, and now they race down towards turn number 3. Randall gets clear in the lead. Second place is a big battle. They all log jam up behind as Mitchell Collins tries to get by Nathan Baird for third. Pit Burrows holds second, and that's a log jam for about 5th on back as they all race down one of the longest straightaways on the racetrack.
Yeah, we normally like, let these drivers drive a little bit before we start to talk, but that guy right there in the 71, he's I don't think he's playing around today, Joe. It wasn't even 20 feet past the start finish line. He already ducked out a line.
Ooh, Mark Hamilton off into the gravel right there. His first ever start in the Winston Cup Series. He had a really good qualifying run for this number 67 Trey.
Oh, he's off again.
He practiced as the fastest, qualified and inside the top 10. He's racing like he's been here all this time. Look at this.
I don't think 3 wide normally works around this track, and they kept that a lot. And then I thought these guys know that the best way to do it is to keep it on the pavement, right?
I think they're trying to test out how much grip the grass has, Trey.
Has it rained recently? I don't remember what the past couple of days have been like.
Yeah, it's just these guys are. I don't know what they're trying to do here, Trey, I'll be honest, but it's putting on quite a first lap for sure. Anderson Reed and that kink, you don't want to go side-by-side through there. If you're on the bottom, you really get slowed up. And for Anderson Reed, he just saw that. He lost about 3, 4, 5 spots because of that move as Hunter Reed, one of the rookies, gets by him. Sebastian Kuklon's got by him. Zachary DeLello, Nolan Lawrence have got by him. There's where Mark Hamilton slots in that number 67 behind Ronald Kennington and Zachary Fitzwater Sr. But at the front of the field, Collins moves through to second. He goes wide in the final corner, turn number 14, and Ruiz comes back at him, but Jay Randall from pole. He's going to get the first lap handily here, Trey.
Yeah, he's definitely liking the way his car's feeling right now, especially with these two side-by-side behind him here. I mean, the place you want to be is really near no one at all. That way you can just kind of pace yourself here, and that 48 is off to a blistering start right now. But I mean, Joe, we've got plenty of time, and we've been to many road courses before, and we know that anything could happen, like contact right there that was oh so close to being disastrous.
And now 3 wide down into turn 3. Nathan Staples is going really wide in that 71, trying to give everyone room. Riley Spurgeon make the big move 3 wide down low. He won Watkins Glen last season, so Spurgeon knows how to get down these road courses, and he just made a 2-for-1 deal in the pass right there. Ronald Kennington getting a nice run. Fitzwater trying to get a run. Nathan Stapleton lost down that one. The number 71 drops back. Nathan Baird trying to get by Bippy Ruiz for 3rd place, and then here is this battle back here. Spurley Hunter, Fitzwater, Kennington, all these drivers all over each other for a spot inside the top 5.
It's early to get a little bit of a tap there from Evan Hunter?
He may have. I mean,
It looked like that car kind of jolted out real quick. There is more dust gets kicked up, and at some point this race, that dust is just gonna be non-existent anymore.
yeah, soon the dust is just going to be all over the racetrack. And then it's going to be even more slippery than it looks like it already is.
I mean, think about how dirty these windshields are already.
Oh, yeah, they're, I bet on that pit
Oh,
stop that they're going to
Fitzy.
have later, Fitzy way up the racetrack in the carousel. He's
Still in
actually,
the grass.
I think he had all 4 wheels off there.
Apparently that grass is pretty grippy. I mean,
Grippy
it
enough.
doesn't look like anyone's really got cost anything, but these guys need to calm it down a little bit here.
You were talking about how there's going to be no dust left. I don't think there's going to be grass left. I think it's just going to be dirt by the end of this because they're all tearing it up.
Now, does NASCAR pay for that, or?
Oh, no!
Oh!
Fitzwater and Noel Lawrence have wrecked off of Canada corner. It's a big log jam. Cars have to slam on the brakes. It looks like so far everyone's actually done a great job getting it stopped, but there is carnage right there in the final few corners, and the yellow is out for the first time in lap number 2. And one of the favorites, Trey, Fitzwater, is done in the number 2.
Did you see how much air he caught off of that?
He hit those tire packs a ton with Nolan Lawrence.
What happened there? I mean, that was just... You would have to assume it's some sort of racing incident, right? But at such a weird corner and a weird angle for that to happen.
And that's a shame for both drivers. Nolan Lawrence had been picking up some momentum from, he had a really heavy start this season for Evernham, kind of dropped off, but now here in the summer months he picked up a top 10 at New Hampshire, started to come back alive. He's moved up in points, and Fitzwater was really needing something to go right this season. He has had a dismal season. He's shown his frustrations in the media and over the radio, and
We're going to get it again, Joe.
Yeah,
and this one might be the worst one of the season so far.
even if it's not Nolan Lawrence's fault, he is definitely going to put the blame on Nolan Lawrence. It could have been a racing incident. We don't know yet, obviously, but
That poor dash is probably all beat up right now.
yeah, steering wheel was probably thrown off, and it was a hard hit for both drivers in this crash. You can see how the field was able to just kind of maintain themselves back there. I think some drivers lost a lot of positions because of that, because they had to, slam on the brakes. But it looks like, Trey, some of the people that have moved up through the field very nicely are the 2 JGR cars. Jericho, I think, is inside the top 20 with Matt as well as his teammate just in front of him right there. You can see the top 10 is just up the road.
Yeah, I mean, they did a nice job. And like you said, I mean, give credit to all these drivers that weren't involved with that, because that is such a bad corner for an accident to happen, especially with cars stopped in the middle of it. And for no one else to really be involved in that thing, that's impressive in itself.
Yeah, that's a blind corner at a very, very narrow part of the racetrack. So very easily could have collected more drivers in this crash. Now, the interesting thing here, Trey, is this is a road course. We see all types of strategies at these road course races, and they've completed 2 laps under the green flag. Does anyone dare come down pit road here and try some sort of different strategy? Or if the main focus is to maybe come down pit road, does anyone dare try and stay out and get that track position?
You got to think there's going to be some sort of strategy. Maybe even those guys, like you said, that have slowly making their way up from starting in the back, they might as well. I mean, what's stopping them from gaining more track position if they can? I mean, they got the speed, and with how these guys are racing, I mean, I'll be surprised if there isn't another incident at some point in this race. So you might as well risk it. I mean, what do you got to lose? Especially for these 2 guys right here. I mean, what do you got to lose?
Especially since these 2 guys, they're trying to get up into that championship battle right now. Kukulan and DeLello have moved up nicely from their starting spots. They're both inside the top 10. Meanwhile, their championship rivals, drivers like Matthew Burnett, Keyshawn Richardson. Richardson's still back in 29th. He's made no progress. Conrad Evans is another one of those championship drivers, back in 25th. Matthew Burnett still back in 36th. So there's a lot of those big-name drivers that are up there in the points that are way back in the field. There could be some different strategy calls maybe for those drivers way back there that need to somehow find the way to get themselves points, or else we could have, 5 more drivers back into that championship fight.
Yeah, Joe, this is nowhere from being over, so it'll be... Whoa.
That was...
Did Rando check up some?
Randall either checked up or Mitchell Collins was warming his tires up and was not paying attention.
Oh, it is stacking everyone up back there. That is a classic... Like you ever drive on the highway and it seems like the traffic's just stopped for no reason whatsoever?
Yeah, like
that's how stuff like that happens. Yeah,
you get to construction and you're like, when you get to construction, everyone's moving once you get there, but before you get there, you're like, why is no one moving? But here we go.
Everyone is in.
Oh no!
No!
A Hendrick car, Justin Seidel, is blowing up Pepsi on the hood, and the Pepsi 500K, he's down pit road with an engine issue. And so far, Trey, no one.
Wells just hit the back of. Is that Hernandez in front of him?
I think it was, yeah. Trey, no one is playing a different strategy so far.
Oh, I mean, might as well play it safe here. I mean, at this point, there's so many guys that are so far back from that stack up. You might as well just get on the same strategy as everyone else. But does the 24 have any hood damage from that stack up there itself? No, he's just blowing up.
Yeah, that is. Huh. Oh, contact back there. See, I think that's Luke Rainey.
Oh,
he's
is he on
top
his
of a
side?
car. Yeah, he's on top of a race car.
Oh, that's a scary situation for pit road.
Yes, it is. I don't know who. I think that was Eli Bright. He was on top of in the 8.
Well, that makes sense for Eli with his type of season, doesn't it?
Oh, my gosh.
Well, Joe, we've seen contact before in this pit road, haven't we?
Yeah, last season we saw, I think it was that number 30 with Kuklan behind the wheel. He hit Laura Chung on pit road.
Well, we definitely have a lot to break down here, don't we?
Yes, we do. Caution flag is out. Jay Rendell leads them off pit road. Great pit stop for the 48 crew. We'll go check out what happened to bring out the caution and then some of the more incidents that happened during this pace lap here at Road America. Well, Trey, one of the final corners of the racetrack, Noah Lawrence and Zachary Fitzwater Sr. racing very aggressively for position inside the top 10. Lawrence is going to peak low on Fitzwater right here, and as they come off the corner, Fitzwater on the curbs, maybe gets a little loose on them, comes to the right. Lawrence not really giving any room either, and they just hit, I think, like you, that's a hard hit.
Look at the air. The front of the car is above Lawrence's.
Yeah, but I think, like your initial thought, I think that's you can't blame anyone for that.
I think what it was, Fitzy was on the curb. I mean, you can clearly feel when the car's on the curb, right? And I think he tried to jump right to avoid going in the gravel, and Lawrence was already in the attack mode for corner exit, and it's just kind of a bad scenario there, and takes out 2 cars from it. But, I mean, Joe, look at all these guys avoiding this. That is amazing.
Yeah, great job by everyone's spotters and everyone just looking out the windshield, getting it slowed down. There was no further contact back in the pack. Everyone got out of this behind the crash clean as they were before, as we'll go take a look at this wreck in one more angle at full speed. And here is that view.
I mean, Joe, he just jumps to the right?
It's just...
I mean, it's going to be a driver versus driver type of thing, and, you know, we're always the third party, and we have our own opinions, but... From what I saw and from what you saw, I think we both agree. It just kind of looks like Fitzwater kind of did a safety maneuver. We're 5 wide. It looks like Fitzwater just did a safety maneuver, and Lawrence was already there.
I think the producers really wanted to show this, Trey, about
how are they? Oh,
what they did coming back to the caution flag. Everyone.
How did they keep it clean?
I have no clue. Add that to the list of something I didn't think I would see here today. But we saw it, and we're still not done with things I didn't think we would see.
Yeah, that was unique.
Yeah,
but,
so now something else unique. Right,
yeah, this goes from an 88 to 2 infinity signs here in a little bit, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. We'll go take a look at what happened on pit road. Luke Rainey and Eli Bright make collision. It looked like the 88 was on top of that Budweiser Chevrolet. Well, Trey, another thing in the list of I didn't think I would ever see this. Luke Rainey is going to come in and do a 2-tire quick change to that number 88, and the crew does good work, but unfortunately for Luke, Eli Bright's pit stall is right in front of Luke's, and as the 88 leaves, the 8's coming in, and oh my gosh.
I mean, think about it, Joe. This never happens if there isn't a stack up, and
yeah,
that's just crazy right there.
And there was even more contact. The 30 and the 44 made some contact. In front of this, Keyshawn Richardson and Roger Ray had contact.
I mean, Joe,
as well.
we know this pit road's known for contact, and it just seems like it's how it is. And I mean, Luke Rainey and his UPS ups car almost goes upside down, and at a place I don't expect it to normally happen at. So I don't know what you take about that.
Yeah, you wouldn't expect a car to be upside down at Road America, let alone on pit road. So,
let alone under caution.
Under caution on pit road, yeah. There's
we just hope we do just hope that the pit crews are okay for both teams, because that is a definitely a very scary incident.
The first restart of the day here in the Pepsi 500K will come on lap number 5 with Jay Randall in the 48 still out in front. His pit crew held serve on their round of pit stops. Both Fitzwater and Lawrence have taken their cars to the garage and they'll be done for the day. For Zeidel, he's also into the garage with a header issue on the 24, so Justin Zeidel is having a pretty decent day here at Road America, but it's all for naught, so he'll be out of the running here at Road America. But it's his teammate Jay Randall trying to get Hendrick's first victory on the season. Another team looking for their first victory on the season is Mitchell Collins for Penske Racing. Ronald Kennington is up to third for Brett Bodine Racing. In fourth, we have Bibby Rose for Melling, and the top five for Riley Spruitt trying to get another road course victory in the Winston Cup Series. Evan Hunter doing nicely in sixth. Then you have Sebastian Kukulan, the highest winner of the season, in seventh. Nathan Baird back to eighth. Hunter Reed up to ninth, and 10th place for Nathan Stapleton. How about the run for Chris Jericho through the field? He's up to 11th. DeLello, the winner of the last race, is 12th. Then you have Mark Hamilton in 13th. 14th for Anthony Hernandez. 15th for Tim Gary. Mathis Wells is in 16th. Brett Searer, the winner of this race last season, is 17th. You have the 21 of Jack Carter in 18th. Jack Haas is 19th. And Noah Clifton completes the top 20 for that number 32 team in PPI Motorsports. So Trey, a big mix of the field as we come to take the first restart of the day here on lap number 5.
Yeah, we'll have to see if Rando can get up back to where his big lead was, and if that 48 is still as strong as it was, and hopefully these guys calm it down some.
Yeah, hopefully we can get some green flag running in now. Remember, they pitted there. They have fuel to go about 3 more laps, so expect maybe to pit around lap 13 or so. We'll see if anyone can try and stretch it to the end on fuel. It'd be quite the stretch, but you never do know with some of these drivers and teams as they come up the front stretch. 60, the 88 still being worked on pit road. We're back going at Road America, and a great jump for Ronald Kennington in third place. Hillocal and Mitchell Collins for second down into the first corner.
Is there technically a way you can pass below the bottom on a road course?
Yeah, that's the thing, right? Because on an oval, it's like you can't pass to the left before the start-finish line.
How does a road course work?
Yeah, I guess just don't pass before the line. You can make a move out, just don't pass the guy.
I gotta ask NASCAR about that because I just thought about that, and I don't know if there's an actual rule for it.
Yeah, I guess you've never broken it during your career if you don't know the rule or not.
Yeah. Well, that or I just didn't listen. It was probably one of the two. The drivers' meetings always were kind of a blur, and you know, I just went with the fact that if NASCAR comes on my radio and yells at me, then I know I did something wrong. But if they don't, I'm good.
3 wide again back here. Mark Hamilton trying to get out of it. In the middle, it's Nathan Stapleton. Down low, Brett Searer makes a 2-for-1 pass on Stapleton and Gary. Gary trying to fight back to get to the inside that 10, trying to get traction, but Brett Searer clears them both as they all slide off that corner. A battle up in front. Jericho's trying to go low on Nathan Baird. That 18 is absolutely flown through the field and trying to get some more spots to be made up. Hunter Reed and Bibby Rose going at. Remember, Rose started second in this race. He's dropped back a little bit, but still in a pretty decent spot inside the top 10 as there's even more battling here for second position.
Yeah, I mean, these guys definitely look like they've calmed it down a little bit here, which is always good to see, but there's always that 3-wide moment, and oh my lord, that 12 has a run, but he just can't get past that 28 there. There's not really a lot of passing zones here, Joe.
Yeah, you have to think of the heavy braking zones. It's really at the end of these long straightaways, so that corner right there is a passing zone. The end of the front stretch, turn 1, and then I believe that would be turn 4 all the way down at the end of that middle section of the racetrack. But once you get kind of past that corner, there's not too many passing zones. As here's a passing zone for Mitchell Collins, trying to get a 2-for-1 deal. Looks like he'll get Riley Spruitt too, but Kennington got the power down a lot better than Riley, but they're going to stay side by side for third up the hill.
Push that was by the 12.
Yeah, that was amazing. What a run he got there. And here comes Kukla. He's looking 3 wide.
Oh, it's back down to 2 wide. I think the 12 saw that and he didn't want to risk it because I bet you he thought that Kukulan was willing to dive that down in there.
And I think Kukulan was willing to dive that down into that corner. Back here, battle between championship rivals from last season. It's for 9th, 10th, and 11th. Chris Jericho and Brett Searer found themselves near each other once again on the racetrack. Well, it's not the front like they were last season. They did finish 1-2 in this race. They're battling for 9th and 10th on the racetrack with Nathan Baird also part in the number 22. And here comes Searer looking out in that number 25. They'll go 3 wide down into turn number 4.
Sear's in the proper position here. He should have the inside and get some sort of a drive off. Jericho's going to go wide there, not quite touch the gravel, but he's going to keep it under control as these two are still side by side. Sear's going to get the bottom once again, and it looks like Jericho's going to follow him.
Trey, that 25, it didn't start all that well, but it looks fast here in this race. I mean, he's making some pretty gutsy moves. He has a lot of confidence in that race car.
Hey, man, as long as you can make the moves without trashing your own car, you go at it there. As we saw, was that the 92 that was off in the gravel?
Yeah, Baby Rose once again a little bit wide off track, and kick some dust up, but he's back on. I think he may have lost a spot to Hunter Reed. No, he's actually going for a spot in Evan Hunter right here for 6th place, but he has the inside the kink. You don't want to be on the inside the kink, and you can see right there, you have to check up, and now Hunter Reed's all over him in the number 45. Jericho got by Nathan Baird in the kink, and now he's going to try and have his sights set on Brett Sierra for the 9th spot. Meanwhile, at the front, the battle for 2nd still on. Mitchell Collins trying to get to Ronald Kennington, who's trying to run down Jay Randall, but for the second restart of the race here, Trey, that 48 got gone.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely looks like he is the car to beat so far today, and I mean, you let him out front, he's gonna take advantage of that, and I mean, well, the more power to him. Hendrick definitely needs something like this run right here, and knock on wood, we'll have to see if they can carry that out to the end.
As you can see, Luke Rennie and Eli Bright, they're both leaving pit road. So they've gotten their cars fixed. They've gone numerous laps down, but they're going to get back out there, try and salvage what they can out of the day. If there's some more crashes, they can try and get spots that way. So here's a battle for 7th and 8th. Hunter Reed trying to take it from Baby Ruiz. Brett Sierra joins the fun, and that 25, he has been outstanding here since this restart. I mean, he has been gaining tenths, maybe even a second every lap on the cars in front of him. I mean, right there, Hunter Reed passes Baby Ruiz, and watch for Brett Sierra to maybe make a pass down the straightaway using the draft and the Hendrick horsepower.
Yeah, I'm not sure what they did to that car on the pit stops, but Sierra is absolutely loving it right now. Like you said, he is slicing his way through this field, and honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if he's in the top 5 before the end of this thing, as long as, you know, things go his way here. And I mean, we're still battling. We now have a pass for 2nd. Not quite clear yet. Kennington's going to have the preferred line going to here, but the 12 is going to be able to power it off. Don't think he's quite cleared. 12 might try to jump it in here. No, he won't.
Stayed behind him, trying to maybe get him through the carousel and maybe off the kink, using some more draft down this next straightaway as Collins looks on Kennington. But right here would not be a great place to make the pass because he's going to be on the inside of the kink, so he has to clear Kennington now. If he doesn't clear him by the time they get to the kink, it could be a bad move from Mitchell Collins. He might lose a lot of time in this. We'll have to see if he can try and hold it down to the inside. Right there, he couldn't. Kennington gets away in 2nd place.
Yeah, I mean, Joe, you at a track like this, I mean, not that I've ever raced on it, but it just seems like, you know, you really have to set your pass up a couple corners beforehand and really have to execute it, because if you miss it, you're going to lose time on the driver that is in front of you here, and we've seen that multiple times so far today, as these guys are, not treating the lap car of Eli Bright too nicely here. They're absolutely forcing their way by him.
Nathan Stapleton made that big move. He got by Conrad Evans because of it. And Eli Bright and Conrad Evans, they have a history at Richmond earlier this season, and with Eli damaged with the race car out there with really nothing to lose.
Oh, Eli!
I don't know if he overdrove that or if Anthony Hernandez gave him a bump to say, move out of my way.
Well, I mean, either one of those isn't the best scenario.
No, it's not. But while we were looking at that, Randall's pulled away to a 3-second gap over Ronald Kennington. Here's a great battle between Baby Ruiz, Brett Sierra, and Chris Jericho going at it for 8th, 9th, and 10th on the racetrack.
Whoa!
Oh, there may have been some contact there, too. And here comes Tim Gary. Might get both those spots.
I mean, just because, you know, Sierra turned right or turned left on a right corner.
Yeah,
that's not normal.
Yeah, normally that means your rear wheels are off the ground and they weren't making traction.
And we'll have to see if anything happens, if Sierra can catch back up to that 18 there. And that was a very interesting corner as well. Where did he come from? Yeah,
probably Sprolotube got a great run around Mitchell Collins to get to 3rd place, probably because of the momentum loss from Collins, and it kind of ruined the whole rest of his lap. But now he's trying to get to Ronald Kennington. But that number 11 has done a pretty good job holding everyone off. But meanwhile, while doing that, Jay Randall kind of gets away, and that number 48 loves it. He's hoping for no more yellows, because if there's no more cautions, he likely has this race in the bag as long as there's no mistakes out of that number 48 or any mechanical issues, because he has a pretty nice gap if everything just goes his way.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, I don't think anyone behind him really has the speed to catch him here, and especially when they continue to battle here. But we'll have to see if these guys can keep it clean. We've seen some close calls here so far ever since the green came back out, and I'm never taking anything off the table, Joe.
No, Riley's bridge right there. He looks to have the pass completed on Ronald Kennington to move Riley up to 2nd place. Now the battle for 3rd. Mitchell Collins trying to get by Ronald Kennington as well.
He's going to do it again. Do it again. Do it again. Do it again.
Oh, come on! Way off the racetrack in the number 29. He'll join back. We lose a spot to Evan Hunter and Hunter Reed in the process.
Talk about a jump scare.
Yeah,
we're watching the 12 and the 11 battle, and Kukulon decides to go straight.
I didn't know I signed up for a horror movie today in this race, but so far everything I've seen has been kind of horror movie-esque.
Yeah, definitely, and everything that's happened has been definitely caught off guard here, and but so far this 12 still cannot pass the 11. Oh!
He may have ran Evan Hunter wide right there because that 36 had to check up and go wide. And here comes Hunter Reed, the rookie, trying to get a top 5 here at Road America in his first ever start.
Do you think Collins is kind of getting a little frustrated?
I'd keep a camera on that 12 and 11 if they keep battling, because I'm sure Mitchell Collins is getting a little bit fed up with Ron Kenton, who's not doing anything wrong. He's just trying to hold his position. In fact, gaining back on Riley Spurley too.
He's definitely driving the car the way you need to drive it, especially defensively and offensively at the same time. It's just every time the 12 tries to set up a pass, the 11 always has something up his sleeve for him and just can't pull it off. So, I mean, I know definitely as a driver, I would be getting a little upset, but also at the same time, I'd probably be using the bumper. But that's just me. And I think Mitchell Collins is a little bit more passive, I guess we could say.
Yeah, I guess we could say that. And, I mean, maybe, though. Everyone has their breaking point, and I'm sure he has to be getting close to it because he's tried numerous times to get by the 11, hasn't been able to yet. Even if, Kennington's not doing anything wrong, that's still going to irk Collins in a way to where he's like, gosh, I can't be seeing this Hooters anymore. I need to be going up to try and catch that Cobalt call that is still pulling away in the 48.
Yeah, I don't know if you're going to be able to do that one there, but the Haviline might be a Haviline. Did I pronounce that right?
Yep, Haviline.
Haviline
and Hooters are going at it. Ronald Kennington going wide. Here comes Mitchell Collins back to his outside now in turn number 14, the final corner.
Get the run though.
Yeah, we'll have to see if he can maybe get the run, use the draft. But I think Evan Hunter actually got the better run. He'll look out 3 wide.
Get 3.
This is for third place behind the front 2. Evan Hunter, I think, is going to back out in the number 36. Maybe thinking better of it down to turn 1. Kennington stays clear in that third spot. Here comes Evan Hunter for fourth on Mitchell Collins.
This is getting spicy, Joe. I like it.
Yes, it is. This is some incredible battling behind Jay Randall, the race leaders. Evan Hunter moves by Collins to get to 4th place. And, I mean, the whole mood around the MB2 team, Trey, has just been outstanding these past few weeks. Both Evan Hunter and Tim Gary have felt like it just feels like they're new drivers in this season. It didn't start out all that well, but lately they have been outstanding.
Yeah, I mean, compared to last season, I mean, they don't have the wins to show it, but I mean, overall though, they have been absolutely impressive, and I think every team's taken notice of that, and I think the trust, for those 2 cars are definitely growing with everyone else in the garage area, and I mean, it's definitely showing with how well they've been running recently.
Yeah, there's the other MB2 car. Tim Gary making a pass on Brett Searer to move Gary up to 10th and make it both MB2 cars currently inside the top 10. Hunter now trying to fend off Hunter Reed, the rookie, who's up inside the top 5 in his first ever Road America start. Mitchell Collins pressuring him in that number 12, trying to get some spots back with Kukulon gaining with Ruiz and Chris Jericho as well. Want to give an update on some of the drivers up in the championship. They're trying to carve their way through the field. Just Nackins is up to 15th. His teammate Conrad is up to 18th. Mathis Wells is up to 19th. And then you look down, Keegan Thompson from the back of the field. He's not in the championship fight, but he's come from the back of the field, 42nd up to 21st in this race. Jordan Stout is currently in 25th. Matthew Burnett is 27th. And then we look down, Keyshawn Richardson is all the way down in 31st position. The points leader having a dismal day at Road America. He started back there, but he's also not been able to make the passes like some of the other championship contenders that have made some good passes throughout the field.
Yeah, and I mean, Joe, just the closer we get to the end of this thing, the more and more it's going to be, these guys are going to be taking risks. So we'll have to see what happens here the 12's got some pretty big company around them.
Yeah, 6 laps to go. Mitchell Collins trying to make a pass.
Back stretch, or the front stretch.
Trying to make a pass on Hunter Reed. Sebastian Kukulon, who is also in the championship fight, the highest running of those drivers up there in that championship battle. Kukulon trying to get every spot he can so that he can possibly gain really big on those drivers behind him. I mean, with how some of those drivers are running, Trey, this could open up the championship battle in a huge way as we get into these final 14 races.
Yeah, as we now have a pass for 3rd place here, I think Evan Hunter is going to be able to clear him going into this small right-hander here. He's got it done. So now that answers the question, is someone else going to pass this 11, or is the 11 going to try to get a spot back?
I think Evan Hunter's trying to make a pass on Riley Spirit, who gained really nicely right there. He had a really good exit, and he also called it a right-hander. Trey was a left-hander. I know the camera was looking...
Oh. Joe, it's... Shush.
And you've also never raced here, so I know you don't need to really know it. I just wanted to...
The cars were going to the right. From the camera point of view, we look off these small displays. I get confused sometimes. I need glasses.
We need to put you out there at one of the corners on the racetrack so you can just look at the track yourself. Be like one of those radio commentators. They
offered me to drive a car around this place with a passenger in it, but the passenger noticed it was me, and they said they were nervous. And I don't know why they would say that. I feel like I'd be careful with them in the car.
Yeah, that's weird. I don't know why they would ever say that about you.
I don't think I'm that scary of a driver.
Three-time champion of the Winston Cup Series.
I mean, I know there's times where I put the car into major risks and I put it in places it shouldn't go, but I mean, it's a wide track. I wouldn't hit anything.
Well, Trace, we're coming around to 5 laps to go. This is about the point now where drivers could start making their way onto pit road to make the final pit stops if they need to for fuel. We have to, as mentioned, they pitted on completion of lap 2, lap 3, so they have about 2 or 3 more laps of fuel than what they started the race with, so they can go to about lap 12 to 14. So you have to think, if anyone wants to try and push it to try and go the distance on the tank of fuel, they would definitely have to be starting to try it. But meanwhile, while we're talking about that, Jay Reynolds' lead has actually come down. It came down by 0.6 of a second that last lap to Riley Spurgeon, who really gained big time that 28 and a pass for 10th. Mark Hamilton puts Jasper's number 67 back up inside the top 10.
Yeah, I mean, with that 48, it makes you wonder if maybe he's starting to back off a little bit here, trying to set himself up. Or, maybe that 28 just has a better long-run car. But with these pit stops so close and the gap between them so big still, I don't know if that 48 is stressing so much, especially with a battle going on right now.
Yep, Evan Hunter trying to get to second place by Riley Spurley to Bazego side by side off of turn number 5 and into turn number 6. Let's get to our Vance Auto Parts question of the week before anything else might happen during this race. Last week we had asked, should any other aspects of the race reward a driver with bonus points? And the fans agreed with you, Trey. They said that both fastest lap and pole winners should get some extra bonus points with 47% of the vote.
Well, who do we got to talk to put that in?
I guess someone at NASCAR.
Well, again, that's got to be you. They're still not happy with me.
Yeah, I know.
I've said some stuff throughout the season that it's not really helping the relationship.
Yeah, still souring it.
Yeah, I got to stop that.
Well, let's get to this week's Advanced Auto Parts question of the week, and it's a very simple one. Of the 3 road courses on the Winston Cup Series schedule, which is your favorite? Is it Riverside, Road America, or Watkins Glen?
I mean, Road America has been pretty good so far, but Joe, I don't think you can beat Riverside. I mean,
you've always loved Riverside.
It's such a good track with action. I mean, Joe, there's a hill in the S's that we've had some of the scariest incidents off of, right? And that small little right-hander. I was a right-hander. I know that this time. I mean, that just causes so many either stack-ups or great passing opportunities. And honestly, Riverside is such a good combination of, you have to have speed for that long straight. You have to have a good turning car for the S's. You have to have a slow a car that can get really back down for those sharp corners. I don't think you can beat it.
Yeah, I think all 3 road courses have their specialties, but Riverside, it's the classic road course, so I can see why you would definitely go to that one, because it's been around for a long, long time. And,
I mean, just past Riverside, we had one of the scariest instances we've seen. But the drivers were okay. So, that's hands off to NASCAR for a good car and a safety car. See, I'm complimenting them.
We also saw a payback at Riverside last season, so.
We don't talk about that.
Well, yeah, I guess I shouldn't be talking about it because there's one of my cars involved in it.
Yeah, how'd that make you feel again?
Yeah, we'll go back to the on-track battle because Ronald Kennington has got up to 3rd by Evan Hunter. Now Kukulan's up to 4th by Evan Hunter. So RCR, they didn't have the best starting spots, but Trey, Kukulan's powered that car up inside the top 5.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely slowly coming back to what he was at the beginning of the season. He had a small little dip in his performance there for a couple of races, but I mean, the last week and this race right here, it definitely seems like he's getting back to where he was originally. So we'll have to see if he can get back up in those point standings and at some point take over the lead again. I mean, where is he in points right now?
Yeah, he's up inside the top 5, so he's definitely close enough at the moment to where
where is our points leader at?
Well, we'll get to that after these pit stops, Trey. With 3 laps to go, Jay Reynolds coming in, and it looks like Mitchell Collins is going to stay out, and he's going to try and lead a lap as we have Hunter Reed way off in the 45.
Now, do you think he wanted to stay out, or do you think he had to commit now?
Yeah, I don't know, but unfortunately, Jay Reynolds actually led that lap on pit road, so Mitchell Collins will inherit the lead in the number 12, and we'll have to see what he can do with it. Obviously, if a yellow comes out now, the race is over. So if a yellow comes out and he can try and save fuel, that could work for him. Hunter Reed also stayed out, along with Noah Clifton. There's Jordan Stout. He's down the racetrack.
Oh, contact! Kukulon!
Yep, that. there
I saw
he
it
is.
this time, Joe. Don't worry.
And
Oh!
Brando was slow off pit road. Riley's. Oh, no!
Oh!
Jay
Kukulon again!
Sebastian Kukulon, they're trying to keep it clean and green. If everyone can get back going. Jay Brando got beat out of pit
Is Kukulon
road.
going to be able to make it around, though?
It's a huge stack up of cars. Everyone's trying to get going. This could really help Trey.
Is it just ahead of Mitchell Collins?
This could really help these drivers that stayed out for Mitchell Collins. He's really praying a yellow came up, but also everyone was getting slowed up. This could be really good for him. But also watch, because Riley Spurgeon first off pit road, and that Ronald Kington behind him, and Spurgeon trying to go 3 wide on Yepez and Eli Bright.
Do you feel that the intensity pick up right there?
Yeah, with Riley Spurgeon and everyone else on the racetrack. Look, if Spurgeon can't get by them, Ronald Kington is seeing that race win right in front of him.
Yeah, he's got to figure out something soon here. He's got to get past Eli Bright, who seems fast without a hood.
Oh!
He drove the corner!
He drove it off the track. He kept it in the lead. If these two keep getting slowed up like this, Mitchell Collins might just leap them no matter what, because, I mean, he's out there in clean air running his own race. These two are getting slowed up so much.
Joe, if we can get finishes like this every time, I might have to change my answer to Road America.
Well, here comes Mitchell Collins off turn number 14. He's probably going to yield to pit road. The big question is, does anyone in the pack dare try and go the distance on fuel? They have to go a long ways, 8 more miles than these drivers, but so far, Trey, no one is daring to try that risky strategy, which could really... Caution is out, I believe. Yellow is out.
Who's it involve? Does
Now,
that
Jay
mean
Brando is slow again.
Collins got it?
Mitchell Collins, I think he has to beat everyone off pit road. Some drivers stayed out because the yellow was out.
It was the leader of the race.
It looks like it's going to cycle out to Jordan Edwards, Lathan Strickland, and Matthew Burnett if they have the fuel to go the distance with Laura Chung and Samet Ozgen and Anderson Reed. There's Collins. He came out in front of those guys, so Collins is the first we know can make it, it looks like.
So it says, the scoring system says Collins is out front, but did it just not update?
Scoring system will update at the line, so Collins led the lap. However, when the yellow comes out, you're on pit road, you have to beat the cars off pit road. You come out.
Yeah.
So the scoring system hasn't updated yet, but the big issue for all these drivers as Mitchell Collins will get back in line between the 88 and the 14. He beat Anderson Reed off pit road. The major problem for these drivers, Jordan Edwards, who won the 500, looking for Fitz Bradshaw Racing, second ever victory. His team owner, Lathan Strickland, right behind him. The big thing for these 5 out in front, do they have the fuel to coast it around, Trey?
Clutch in, shut the engine off, do whatever you can.
Switch off, turn everything off.
Caution for? That's what I'm curious about.
Yeah, I don't know if they saw the 48.
Yeah. I think that 48's got more damage than from what he had from the pit road incident.
Yeah, so Baird could have run into him, caused another crash, it looks like.
Yeah, we'll have to. We'll look at it after we figure out what's going on with all this. Well, Joe, what an ending it would be if driver and team owner finish 1-2. If not, it's someone else's race.
Well, Trey, remember last season, Jordan Edwards got his first ever Winston Cup Series win at a road course in Riverside. And why was it? Because there was some huge pit issue at the end. The yellow came out, and he won the race under caution.
Stack up. Because
he got to stand, others had to pit.
A little deja vu.
It could be a little deja vu for Jordan Edwards. We'll have to see, though. I mean, obviously, this is a long racetrack. We mentioned the longest on the schedule, Trey. If they stumble any time in the last lap, they won't make it back around.
Are you think they're a little nervous in there?
I think the front 5, because I mean, the driver's up here, right? So Jordan Edwards looking for his second win of the season, that team's second ever win. Lathan Strickland is going for another win on the season. Remember, he won at Talladega earlier this season, got injured in a crash at Texas just a few races after that. Matthew Burnett is the lone Roush car not yet to win this season. Burnett currently up in third, could gain massive points on the drivers around him. Laura Chung had to start back in 41st after being set to start in 4th because she failed inspection. She's up to right where she would have started in 4th. And Samet Ozgen has been loathing his season at Haas Carter Motorsports and currently has his car up inside the top 5 if he can make it on fuel, because we know Mitchell Collins, who is just a few cars behind, can make it in that number 12 car.
This is going to be one of the longest pace laps. that we're gonna have here. I mean,
And that's if
oh,
these 5
Joe.
can even make it to the white flag.
Yeah, we'll have to see if they duck off the pit road here.
Because if it starts stumbling now, you'll definitely bring your driver down pit road so that you can at least finish the race. And if everyone is
Can they make it up this hill?
Yeah, that's a big question too. We'll have to see. Do they? Oh
Oh no!
None of them.
None of them could make it. It goes back to Mitchell Collins.
It goes back to Mitchell Collins, who played the overcut strategy.
It's gonna work.
And it looks like it's going to work for him. Riley Spurgeon should cycle out to second, with Ronald Kennington in third, Hunter Reed in fourth, Noah Clifton up to fifth. Then you have Evan Hunter. How about Jordan Stout in the number 6 as he climbs the hill? I think he is still out there and inside the top 10. I mean, what a change of events, because of when the yellow came out, some of these drivers gained massively.
Yeah. I mean, look at that. I mean, everyone's coming off pit road now. So how does that work for them?
So I assume they're going to have them stop. Is there a stop sign at the end of pit road? Yes.
Okay.
That poor official is probably getting a few gestures from those drivers that want to get out there, but they can't go.
Oh, there they go. Look at them wave them on.
And Lathan going to the outside to avoid that wall.
That's Charles, if you didn't know. He's a good guy.
Charles.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
He has quite the job out there, doesn't he?
Yeah. He tells me a lot that he gets a lot of hand gestures at times. He doesn't take it personally. So, I mean, I guess that's a good thing. Well, that car is beat up.
I was about to say, this was a race-winning car about 3 laps ago, and now it's probably not ever being used again, and it's exactly what we saw with Lathan Strickland last season, where
it's 2 races in a row.
Which is weird, though, because Randall had gotten out of pit road, and they were 3 wide leaving pit road earlier today.
Yeah, I wonder if
trying to push it and cut it.
That, or there was no one to his outside, was there?
Yeah, I don't know. If there was someone to his outside, he possibly
maybe
tried to
I was gonna
keep it
say
further right.
He might have tried to play it safe, but he played it too safe. And talk about a bad turn of events for Kukla on there.
Yeah, I know.
Ran into the side of the 97, and then you think that's enough, right? Coming off pit road, all of a sudden here comes a 48 across your hood.
Yeah, that was just one of those things where you can't make this stuff up, Trey.
Is that me jinxing him because I was talking good about him earlier this race?
I think we jinxed everyone.
Does that count as jinxing? Even though it was,
we jinxed everyone in this race.
Yeah, we just gotta stop. From now on, we just say the numbers. We don't say the names.
I just say we just sit up here and talk about whatever else, and don't talk about anything, even the numbers.
We're such bad luck.
So if everything plays out how it is now, we obviously saw a mechanical issue earlier with Zidell, so that is still in play for these drivers. But if it plays out like this, Mitchell Collins should win this race over Riley Spurgeon in second, Ronald Kennington in third, Hunter Reed in fourth, Noah Clifton in fifth. Evan Hunter is sixth, Jordan Stout is now seventh, Gary is up to eighth, Baby Rose holds on for a top 10 and ninth, and Brett Sierra gets to 10th. Sarah Kirchner jumped up to 11th there at the end. Jericho is in 12th. Then you have Mark Hamilton, an impressive first ever start, in 13th. Then you have Atkins 14th, Evans 15th, Thompson in 16th, Haas 17th, Stapleton 18th. And all these drivers back here, as you can see, where is the points there? There is Keyshawn Richardson. So he moved up because of that. There was a lot of contact on pit road and stuff, and whatever stuff happened after pit road, looks like he moved up nicely because he passed some cars, and obviously all those cars that had to come down pit road with the white flag, and they lost a bunch of spots as well. But man, Trey, it's gonna take a whole week to unwind from this race.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what just all happened though. 2 laps.
Yeah, I don't think anyone knows. I'll be perfectly honest. I'm sure the NASCAR officials are up there trying to make sure they have everything worked out to where everyone is where they should be, and there's no issues with that.
Yeah, but hey, what a win.
Yeah, we were talking about how Penske Racing, they needed something to go right, and we thought, both cars starting inside the top 10, both going to have good days. Well, that went out the window the first yellow because Fitzorder got turned head-on into the tire patch with Nolan Lawrence, and luckily their other car, Mitchell Collins, stayed close enough to the front. Remember, Trey, we were talking about how upset he had to be getting caught behind a lot of these cars and losing positions, but it looks like the crew chief might have just gotten Mitchell Collins a race victory here at Road America with his pit call.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it starts out with your one car dying.
Yeah.
ends with the other car winning. So I don't know how you take that as an overall as the owner.
Well, Penske Racing, they won in 2000 with Mitchell Collins at Daytona. They won last season with Fitzwater at Martinsville. They're keeping another win here at Road America as Mitchell Collins takes the checker flag under the yellow here at Road America. And I think, Trey, this is the first race we've had this season that ended under that caution flag.
Is it?
I believe it is.
I'm impressed we made it this long.
Yeah, in 2001, it felt like every race was ending under the caution
There
flag.
was every race, I'm pretty sure.
This season, we've gone quite a ways, I believe, to race number 18 before a race ended under the caution flag, and it's Mitchell Collins with the race victory here at America. But we'll go take a look at what happened on pit road, and to cause the final yellow of the day here at Road America, Jay Rando collides with the pit wall and has some more issues later on the lap with Nathan Baird in the number 22 car. Well, Trey, an eventful round of pit stops. Sebastian Kukul on the 29, leaving pit road. Zaccardello coming in, they hit. And then watch this up here with this number 48 of Rando, and he's leaving pit road. And, I mean, look how much room he had.
Dang. Oh. Good thing there was not a car coming down the front straight.
Yeah,
with
at speed,
Kukul on.
absolutely. Yeah, that could have been a major impact.
That could have been bad.
You can see right here, everyone is wondering where to go because there are penalties. I don't know what they would be in this situation, but there are penalties if you merge, to the left too early. I don't know if they would remove those penalties because of this incident.
I'm impressed he was able to wheel a car as far as he did.
Yeah, and even Rando, that car was all torn up, and unfortunately he has some contact later on the lap, which actually brings out the caution flag. So it looked like Rando's issues were over with by this point, but Trey, you notice the rear end still looks pristine on that car, and it didn't look like that when it took the checkered flag.
No, it was pretty beat up.
Yeah, so as Rando gets around to the accident scene where this yellow flag incident takes place, I mean,
look at you could visibly see how slow he is compared to everyone else, and pay attention to that group of cars that's back there, right?
They're all racing for position, right? Because they're still under the green flag. And even if the yellow was out, they have to race back to the caution flag. But these drivers are all for position. It's a big group. Thompson and Wells and Haas and all these drivers. Right here, Mathis Wells moving up onto Rando's, holding the inside. Wells is side by side with Thompson. They're going to have to yield. Wells does. And right here, he says, enough is enough. Get out of my way. Oh. And then Nathan Baird was trying to just get
I don't know
going.
if we can blame him for that. I mean, I understand why he would do something like that. And then, oh!
Yeah, Jason Albert was like, nope, not that way.
Back up, back up, back up, back up, back up.
Yep. And unfortunately for Jay Rando, that car even more damaged than it was prior to that incident. That's what brought the yellow flag. And Trey, we said the woes, Frederick Motorsports, they continue this season.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they got to do to turn this whole thing around.
Yeah, they need some sort of like curse magic to get the curse away or something. I don't know. They need to put the curse onto another team because Rando had the dominant car. He led all but just the final laps.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, he should be the one in victory lane.
Yep.
But it doesn't work out like that. We always say it's never over till it's over, and this is the clear reason why.
And it looked like they had gotten kind of outfoxed on pit road too, because Riley Spruill and Ron Kennington, they took fuel. Only the 48 was taking tires. It created a longer pit stop, and I think that's part of the reason why he hit the pit wall. He's trying to get as close to that wall as possible to get a very, very kind of straighter exit out, because obviously the fastest distance between 2 points is a straight line. He's trying to just get as straight off as possible, not have to move out any, and I think he just misjudged with the right side of the car. Kind of different from Lathan's issue last season where he had a car to his outside.
Yeah, I don't know what to I don't know what he'll have to say about that. So, very unique situation.
Yeah, that's for sure. As we'll take a quick break and we'll come back to go over the finishing results and everything else from a very, very wacky race here at Road America. Welcome back to Road America as we're into the post-race show here on JRTV for the Pepsi 500K. A crazy race here at Road America gives Mitchell Collins his second ever NASCAR Winston Cup Series victory. He won 2 seasons ago at the Daytona Night Race, the Firecracker 400. He gets it done here today at Road America in the Pepsi 500K, besting Riley Spruill in second. What a great run for Ronald Kennington in third place for Brett Bodine Racing. A great run for the rookie Hunter Reed, fourth place for Petty Enterprises. And another great result for Noah Clifton inside the top 5 for PPI. The MB2 cars did well here today with Evan Hunter in 6th place and Tim Gary in 8th. Sandwiched between them was Jordan Stout in 7th. He played some great pit strategy similar to the strategy that Mitchell Collins played, and it got Stout a 7th place finish here today. BB Rose held on to track position all day from a 2nd place starting spot to get a 9th place, and Brett Seaver completes the top 10, so at least Hendrick had some sort of positive from today's race. Sarah Kirscher moved up nicely and finished in 11th place in that number 40. 12th for Chris Jericho came from the back of the field, was inside the top 10 at points. The strategy did not go his way at the end of this one. Mark Hamilton, great run for that second Jasper car. In fact, both Jasper cars finished inside the top 20. Very good day for them with Hamilton in 13th, Haas in 17th. There you can see Atkins and Evans, two of the championship runners, in 14th and 15th. Matt as well as another driver up there in points in 21st. Keyshawn Richardson, the points leader, ends up in 24th. We'll have to see how that plays out for his points lead, because we had some drivers do well here today. Unfortunately for Kukulon, who's looking to gain some points, he's going to lose some to Lelo down here in 26th. Randall, the dominant car of the day, ends up in 30th place. The leader at the white flag, Jordan Edwards, actually got 29th here today in the number 83. And we looked down the cars out. Nathan Baird was out. Sebastian Kukulon was out. They get 36th and 37th. Luke Gurney, Eli Bright finished laps down. Justin Zidell had header issues. And then from the first crash, Zachary Fitzwater Sr. and Nolan Lawrence both out in the 2 and the 19. And as we go take a look after this 18th race at the point standings, Keyshawn Richardson's mediocre day allows drivers behind him like Evans and Atkins and Stout to close in Trey. But there are still some drivers like, Burnett and Kukulon really wish they could have had something better happen here today, because Kukulon was outrunning him all day but lost some ground, and Matthew Burnett, if he had the fuel to make it, could have gained a lot of points on his teammate Keyshawn Richardson.
Yeah, it definitely looks like whatever happens, it always ends up going into the way of the 99 so far this season. I mean, past seasons, though, we've seen a dip in whoever the points leader is at some point. So the real question is that if it's going to happen, when is it?
Yeah. Keyshawn Richardson, can he hold this momentum that he's had so far this season? Obviously, the last few races, he's kind of had some mediocre days, hasn't had the best days. Think about Michigan, where he had the issues on pit road and such. Think about Loudon, just didn't have the speed there. Here at Road America, didn't have the speed, but did rebound nicely. I think 24th was the highest he was running all day long, and ended up with him at the end of the race. So that's good progress for the 99 team here today at Road America. We'll have to see if they can continue some momentum into the next race out, as Trey, it's the wild card in the middle of the summer. We go racing under the lights at Daytona for the Firecracker 400. We've seen the past 2 seasons Mitchell Collins win there for Penske, and then Ronald Kennington win there for Jasper. Do we see another upset winner here at Daytona next week?
You'd have to think so, right? But, I mean, at the same time, there's a lot of experienced veterans out there that know how to run at Daytona. So it's always a toss-up, Joe. And the way to win it, you got to miss the big one. So there's a lot of factors that go into next week.
Well, we'll have to see how that race goes in terms of the racing product and how it goes in terms of the championship picture, because it's oh so close between Roush Racing and Richard Childress Racing at the top of the throne. Congratulations once again to Mitchell Collins for Penske's first win of the 2002 season. For Trey Bardo, I'm Joe Rakowski. So long from Road America and the Pepsi 500K, and tune in next week for the Firecracker 400 at Daytona.